Now let's talk about Montreal's tourism industry. As we kick off this third hour of the show, there's a travel boycott, and it turns out it's going both ways. A lot of Canadians avoiding the States. Turns out some Americans are avoiding us as well. American tourism down 7% year over year in Canada. A steeper decline in Quebec, where it's between 8 and 10%. Is the tourism industry hurting in Montreal, or are we persevering thanks to other provinces and other places? Let's find out more. Yves Lalumière joins us, President and CEO of Tourisme Montréal. Hi, Yves. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me, Elias.
So how do you characterize what you're seeing this year?
Well, it's not as bad as you say. First thing is, when you look at the Canadians going down to the States, it's minus 35%.
Yeah.
We're still at 93% of the volume we had last year, which was a great year. So when you take this into account, when you look at the inventory on the aircraft side, you look at Air Canada, you look at American and United, they've cut down, on their inventory by about 10 to 15%. So being at minus 7% in Montreal is a good number. We had forecasted minus 5. I think it's going to be tough to get in positive numbers. The fact is that, with the traffic talks and so on, there was a delay in terms of the intentions to travel, making the bookings and so on. So I think we may be able to get to the stable numbers that we had last year with Americans, but we're recouping in other markets, as you said.
Yeah, so let's talk about where you're recouping from. Where are people coming from? If the numbers are down from the U.S., albeit slightly, where are we picking up from?
Yeah, well, our friendly neighbors from Ontario we're always obsessed with the marketing on Ontario. It's a great market for us, but what our surprise comes is the Atlantic provinces were plus 15. We were almost plus 20% last summer as well. So good momentum in Atlantic Canada. Ontario continues to be a good beast for us in terms of the market, and the rest of Canada is doing well. So we're looking about plus 5 to 6%, and it is the biggest market. Americans, 2 million Americans per year that are coming, and 500,000 French folks or from France. We're looking at plus 1% this year, and we're expecting a better half of the last half of summer for international travel. So overall, Elias, we're slightly up on last year in terms of the room nights. When you look at collaborative lodging and commercial hotel, and we're looking at 2 to 3% increase over the next 2 months, because summer for us continues at the end of October.
And there's a couple of parts about this, right? One is the sheer number of bodies, right? The number of visitors, very important here. But then it also comes down to how much each visitor spends. What can you tell us on that front? Because, there are worrisome signs about the Canadian economy, particularly in Ontario, by the way. So when someone does come here, are they spending as much?
Well, it's a great comment, because you notice on the American side, minus 7 still translates into an increase in spending, because they do spend more, and the currency, is always very important to us as well. About 33% of the Americans are not aware that our currency is weaker than theirs. Therefore, when they arrive in Canada, they notice it, and then they spend more, and they spend more than Ontarians, and Ontarians spend more than French folks from France. So it is an important data for us, and you're right, Canadians spend a little lightly, but nothing to worry about at this point. The economy is still strong, and it certainly has not hurt the tourism numbers at this point.
Wrapping up here with Yves Lalumière, President and CEO of Tourisme Montréal. So, Yves, what's the target strategy? When you're looking at your advertising campaigns on social media, traditional media, who are you trying to go after right now?
Well, first, the attributes of Montreal is a playground. There's all the festival, the gastronomy, the Michelin, and the vibe of Montreal, and then also the well-being of Montreal. So we do market to our priority markets in the States, or Northeast and even Western U.S., and we do this as well with France, and somewhat as well to England. So we continue our investment as we did in 2024. We have not lowered our investment. We kept the same level of investment, and we will continue to focus on our American friends, because this is our biggest market after Ontario. So no change in that area there, and we're already on the winter campaign. We're going to be launching winter in about a month and a half, 2 months to international markets. So we're ready to go, and we're already shot all the the images for our campaign as well for next summer, because it's been a great summer starting mid-June. We had a great Grand Prix. We had a great tennis cup with Osheaga. We've got Lasso coming up as well this weekend. So lots in store, Grand Prix Cycliste, the marathon. So, we try to promote what is the biggest feature of Montreal. It's working. It's a great summer at this point on the festival scene.
Before I let you go, you brought up the Grand Prix. Now it's next year where it changes. It's
Yes.
the week that it's held on the calendar into May, right?
Yes. Now we're not going to be in June anymore.
Yeah.
We negotiated that in return where we got extension as well of Grand Prix until 2035. This year was a great success, coming back from a tough one the previous year. So very happy with the numbers. Many folks from outside Montreal, 60% were coming both at Osheaga and both at the Grand Prix, coming from outside Quebec. So good numbers on the sporting event.
Yves, a lot to be optimistic about. Really happy that you joined us this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Yves Lalumière, President and CEO of Tourisme Montréal. On the text line, by the way, on the storm front, one listener noting, it's raining here in Duvernay-Laval. Good wind gusts. Rain strength comes and goes. Pouring in St. Leonard from Vic, in Fabreville, torrential rain and thunder and lightning. It's okay, though, this listener writes, we need the rain. Thunder and lightning and rain in St. Adèle. Keep those comments coming. And Jael says, rain of biblical proportions in Pierrefonds. I guess it beats locusts. Okay, when we return, we head to Washington, D.C. We're going to find out what's happening there with Trump ordering in the National Guard, the federalization of the police. We'll get the latest from a journalist over at the Washington Post. Let's do traffic right here, right now, 11:16. Here is Debbie Marcellos. Seriously,